Dear students, welcome to the lecture on machine learning. In last video, we discussed about rule models. Under rule models, I explained first order logic rule model. Now coming to the next unit, unit 4. In unit 4, I'm going to explain linear models. Linear models are one of the important and a useful concept in machine learning. See, this is the syllabus under linear models. Least square methods, I'm going to explain heuristic learning, algorithm, support vector machines, kernel methods, etc. I'm going to explain in this chapter. See, chapter unit 4 having two chapters. One is linear models and another one is distance based models. Here linear models are using lines and planes to construct the model. Whereas in distance based models, distance function is calculating to identify the similarity or dissimilarity between the instances which are in the data in instance space. See, totally in this unit, we are going to discuss about two models. One is a linear model and another one is distance based model. The first chapter is linear models. Coming to the linear models. Here, linear models are working based on the lines and planes. Where we observe lines and planes? We observe lines and planes in the geometric model. In the geometric model, we are using x-axis and y-axis. On the x and y-axis are forming a space that is called instance space. On the instance space, we are representing the instances. Those instances are separating or dividing by using the lines and planes. Linear models are mostly used to perform regression tasks as well as classification tasks. Here I would like to explain as linear models with a simple graphical representation. See, this is the data set. This data set D contains number of instances, right? This is data set D. It contains what? Set of instances. We already know. So in some cases, these instances are also called as examples. Some cases, these instances are also called as objects, right? And here we're using instance space. This instance space is representing as capital X, right? Here data set is divided into two parts. One is the training data and another one is test data. Here training data is arranged on the instance space. Most of the cases for training purpose, we are using 80% of the data set containing instances. Here the instances are appearing like this. Here plus indicates some positive instances, means or positive class instances, assume like this. And this minus represents negative instances which are in the training data set. See, to separate positive and negative instances, we are using planes or lines. See, observe this. Here we're using lines like this. This line is separating positive instances as well as negative instances, right? Now we are going to, this kind of representation is called what? See, here we are using planes and lines to separate positive and negative instances on the instance space. Here linearly these are separable. This is what linearly separable. I will explain what is linearly separable in the support vector machines. These instances are linearly separable, right? Here this is what a line or a plane, right? By using this line or plane, we are separating positive and negative instances on the instance space. Here instance space contains what? Instances contains set of training instances or training data or training objects or training examples. Right. Now coming to the presentation. Right. Linear models are parametric. What is parametric here? Here parametric means they have fixed form with a small number of numerical parameters. See, if you observe the image, here this line is formed by using points, right? It may, I mean, there may be some point, or this positive class, this positive instance may be on the plane, or the negative instance may be very close to this plane, like this. See, this line is formed by using some points. These are what? These are what? So small number of numerical parameters, right? Here we need to learn these parameters from the data. See what we did in the tree and rule models. Simply we are considering features of the instances. See, in rule model or tree model, let me take a tree model. What we did in the tree model, suppose there is a tree, the tree having some nodes like this, and the outcome is leaf nodes. The outcome is leaf nodes. Here we constructed tree like this. Right? This is what tree model. In tree model, what we did in tree model, simply we are taking features of the instance. Suppose the feature may be let me take a sea animal. Sea animal is the dolphin. Sea animal is the dolphin. Dolphin having some length. Here length is one feature, right? Based on the length, the tree will be constructing. And next we are considering it may be a beak. In this branch we are considering teeth, etc. See, to construct a tree model, what we are using features of the instance. See, length is one feature. Here F1 indicates feature 1, F2 indicates feature 2, F3 indicates feature 3. See, how many features we are considering in this decision tree? Here we are considering 3 features. Similarly, if you take some other instance, for that instance we may consider 10 features. For some instances we may consider 20 features. Like that, based on the features of an instance, the tree will be constructed. This is what tree model. Similarly, in rule model also, we are forming rules like this. See, suppose we may take a loan decision. To consider loan decision of a person, we are considering income of the person. Here income is what? One feature. Income should be the range between 20K to 20K to 50K, right? Or greater than or equal to 20K, right? Here income is what? One feature, right? Means here we are writing rule like this. If income greater than or equal to 20,000, and this is what conjunction, age of the person greater than or equal to 21 years, then we may give loan to him, right? Here loan decision is what? Yes, we can give loan. This is the rule which is used by the, this is the rule which is used by the branch manager or some loan approval authorized person, right? This is what rule model. Here rule model contains set of rules, right? There are two types of rule models: ordered rule models. Ordered rule models are called as rule lists, and unordered rule models, those are called as rule sets, right? We already discussed rule list and rule sets in the earlier videos. Similarly, we already discussed tree models in the earlier videos. That is unit 3. Now we are going to work with linear models. In linear models, what we are using? We are using lines and planes to separate the instances. Whether the instance is a positive instance or negative instance, that one is separated by using planes and lines. When compared to the rule models and tree models, linear models will produce effective results. Means the accuracy of the linear models are very high when compared to the tree models and rule models. Now go to the presentation. Here, the main difference between tree or rule models and numeric models is the structure. Here, in rule models and tree models, we are working or we are doing classification and regression, or we are constructing model based on the feature of the instance. Whereas in linear model, we are not considering features, we are simply using planes and lines to identify the positivity and negativity of an instance. Next. Here, I already explained this one also, right? While working with the tree models and rule models, we may get overfitting problem. I already explained overfitting concept in the tree models and rule models, right? If you take linear models, we will get less overfitting when compared to the tree models and rule models, right? We are getting very less overfitting problem and overfitting problem when compared to the tree models and rule models, right? See, I already explained this point also. See how the tree models are constructing. The tree models are constructing by splitting node, by splitting the node. The node may be a root node, the node may be a left node or right node, like that. The node should be splitted into some subnodes based on the associated value to the feature, right? Here we are considering features only. That is the main difference, right? And coming to the next one. Next, observe this point. This is very important point. This is what high bias, right? Here, the last 2 points can be, see, whatever the points we discussed here, overfitting and splitting rule, right? These problems are, these points are summarized by saying the linear models have low variance. See, there is a less overfitting means there is a less variance, means low variance, but it will give high bias, right? Such models often preferable when you have limited data and want to avoid overfitting. See, if you had the data set size is very less, then you prefer linear models, and it avoids overfitting also. Here, decision trees are high variance and low bias models. When we go for this one, if the data set size is huge, then we will prefer decision trees or tree models, right? Whenever the data set size is small, better we prefer high bias models. High bias models like linear models. Linear models always gives less or low variance and high bias, right? See, both are important. Tree models, rule models, as well as linear models, all are important. But depending on the data set size, we are going to choose the appropriate model. Whether our model, which model we need to use, that one is deciding based on the data set size. And linear models are usually going to perform classification and regression kind of tasks, right? Mostly we are using linear models for classification, to perform classification and regression kind of tasks. Here, one of the popular uh, linear regression algorithm is linear algorithm is least square method. By using least square method, we may perform regression as well as classification also, right? Till now, what we discussed? We discussed about linear models. Once again, I'm recapping. What is the use of linear models? Linear models are used to perform classification and regression kind of tasks. Linear models are using planes and lines. What is the difference between linear models and tree models? In tree models and rule models, we are using instance features. Whereas in linear models, we are not using features. We are not using features, right? We are using planes and lines to construct the models, right? In tree models, the we are considering nodes. Nodes are divided into subnodes by splitting. Here, split is happen based on the instance feature as well as its associated value, right? That's what we discussed. And one more important point we need to observe here is with the help of linear models, we will get low variance and high bias. Linear models are preferable whenever the data set size is small. With the help of linear models, we avoid overfitting problem. If you take a tree model, if the data set size is small, we will get high variance. High variance will give less accuracy. Means we will get an overfitting problem, right? But tree models are suggested whenever the size of the data set is high. Now, coming to the next concept, that is a least square method, right? The next concept is least squares method. Here, observe this. Least square methods are used to perform classification as well as regression. Means least square algorithm addressed classification problem as well as regression problem. Let me recap regression problem. in regression problem, we are using a function estimator f. This function estimator f applied on the instance space X. Observe this. Here, f is function estimator. Observe the mouse pointer location. F is the function estimator and X is the instance space. And what we are getting? We are getting a regression. Here, to construct this function estimator, what we are considering? We are considering xi comma f of xi. Here, x indicates instances which are on the instance space. Here, f indicates function estimator. Right. Now, what we are calculating here? We are calculating the difference between actual and the the model generated results. Here f of xi is an actual one and f cap of xi is the generated one or estimated one, right? F of xi is the actual and f cap of xi is the estimated. We're identifying the difference between actual function and estimated function. The actual function, the difference between actual function and estimated function is representing by using epsilon I. Means for each and every instance, we are calculating the actual function as well as estimation function, and we are calculating the epsilon also. Here, epsilon represents recidals, right? Recidals. Here, recidal is what? Recidal is the difference between the actual function and the estimated function values, right? Here, actual function and estimated function both are using instances, set of training instances which are on the instance space. This is what a recidals. What is a recidal? Why we are discussing about recidal? We are using recidals. We are using recidals in least square method. Who introduced a least square method? Least square method was introduced by Carl Friedrich Gauss in the late 18th century. Here, what he is finding? F cap. Here, F cap is summation of I is equal to 1 to n and square roots of epsilon I. Means for each instance, what we are calculating? We are calculating epsilon. Here, epsilon indicates what? Epsilon indicates recidals. We are calculating the square roots for the recidals, right? These recidals belongs to the instances which are on the instance space. Means here I would like to explain this. See, this is the instance space. Assume like this. This instance space contain instances like this, right? Here, this is one instance. This is another instance like this. For each instance, what we are calculating? We are calculating f of. See, this is the first instance. Then this is what x1 minus f cap of x1, right? The difference between f of x1 and f cap of x1 is treated as epsilon 1, right? What we are calculating? We are calculating. See, I will explain this with the new. Now consider this. This is an instance space. This instance space contains suppose 5 instances. Assume like this. For better understanding purpose, I am explaining like this. But reality, no need to represent like this 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Here, for better understanding purpose, I am representing instances as instances with numbers. Now consider this. This is the first instance. For this instance, what we are calculating? We are calculating, see, f of 1 minus, here 1 indicates what? X. See, all these are representing like this. This is what? X1, X1, X2, X3, X4, and X5. To generalize this, what we are using? Xi. That's why I'm explaining like this. Xi. Now, here this is what? X1. This is what? X1. X1. X1 minus f cap of X1. This is what? This is what? Epsilon 1 value. Here epsilon 1 is what? 1 residual for X1. Similarly, we are calculating epsilon 2, that is for f of X2 minus f cap of X2. This is equal to epsilon 2. Like this, what we are calculating? We are calculating up to epsilon 5. Why? Because we are considering here only 5 instances on the instance space X. Now, what we are doing? We are summating all these epsilon 1. How we are summating? By calculating the squares. Epsilon 2 and so on plus epsilon 5 whole square. Epsilon 5 whole square. See, this is a representing in equation format like this. Here I is equal to, instead of 1 2 3 4 5, what we are using? I is equal to 1 to n. Suppose there are n number of instances on the instance space. Here our n value is 5 only, right? That is equal to into, right? What we are calculating here? We are calculating epsilon. Epsilon for all residuals means I whole square. Got the point? This is the generalized equation for this explanation. Here we are considering only 5 instances. Because of that reason, here here n value is 5. But in real time instances, in real time instance spaces, we may have thousands and lakhs of instances. Right? This point is clear? Yes. See, what is the equation we are using to calculate the least squares? Initially, we need to identify the residuals. That is the first point. After what is the residual? Residual is the difference between actual function value and estimated function value. Here actual function value is representing with f of x and the estimated function value is represented with f cap of x. Got the point? Here x indicates what? X is an instance on the instance space. X is an instance on the instance space. For all instances on the instance space, we are calculating the residual value. Here residual value is square rooted, and finally we are summing all the residual values to know the least square value. Least square. See, finally what we are doing? We are identifying the least residual, right? We are minimizing, right? The following example clearly explains univariate regression, right? Here we are considering only single feature, right? To minimize the sum of squares of residuals, we are using least square method. Why we are using least square method? Here we are calculating number of residuals. Why? Because there are number of instances on the, suppose there are n number of instances on the instance space, we are calculating n number of residuals. For all residuals, out of all residuals, we are identifying least square, which residual having least square That one is identified by using least square method. Univariant linear regression. Observe this one. Here, what we discussed here, we are going to identify the residuals initially, then we are calculating sum of square roots for each and every residual. Here, residuals are calculating for the instances which are on the instance space. What is the use of least squares method? Least square method objective is to minimize the sum of squares of residuals. See, observe this. Here, univariant linear regression is explaining here. See, suppose we want to investigate the relationship between people height and weight. See, in the here the instance belongs to the people. Here we are considering height and weight. Here we are considering height and weight. See, we collect n number of heights and weights. Here height is representing by using hi and weight is representing by using wi. Right? Here I value always should be between 1 to n. I already told to you there are 5 instances. Here I value is beginning from 1 and in that case n value is 5. Right? Observe this. How to calculate the redressal? Sorry, residuals. Here residual is calculating. Here we are considering a linear equation, that is W is equal to A plus BH. Right. In regression, we already know the dependent and independent variables. Right. Here, observe this. A and B are what? Parameters. Here, we are calculating the squared residentials by summing all the residentials. For each and every residential, we are calculating squares. See, after calculating the squares, we are adding all the squared results. Right. Observe this. Here W is equal to A plus BH. Then WI is what? An actual function value. And A plus BHI is what? Estimated value. Estimated function value. Right. This is what? A residual. Wi minus A plus BHI is the residual. For this residual, what we are calculating? We are calculating the square. And out of all this, we are identifying the minimum square. That is what? Least square algorithm. Right. Here, initially what we are doing for this equation, we are identifying the derivative. We are going to calculate the derivative based with respect to A, and in the second case, we are identifying the derivative or we are calculating the derivative with respect to B. After calculating the derivatives, we will get the equation like this. And finally, the equation is equalized to 0. Derivative of dou by dou A is calculated for the entire equation. We will get the solution, final result like this. And after calculating the derivative for with respect to A and with respect to B, where we will get the following result. Finally, we will get the linear regression, that is W is equal to A cap of cap A plus cap B into H, that is equivalent to W bar plus cap B into H minus H bar. And see here, mainly we performed 2 steps. The first step is normalization of the feature by dividing its value by the future variance. And in second step, we calculate the covariance of target variables and normalize the features. Right? See, these are the 2 important steps we calculated, we performed, in univariate linear regression, right? So till now what we discussed? We discussed about linear models. Under linear models, we calculate the recidals. These recidals are used in the least square method. Least square method is used to find the it minimizes the sum of squares of recidals, right? Under this, we discussed univariate linear regression, right? In my next video, I will explain perceptron, right? Thank you for watching this video. I will share assessment link to you. All of you must do the assessment test.